Why did God see fit to create the universe, and why did he create it when he did? Not earlier? There are two aspects to this question. First, why the universe was created, and second, why it was not created earlier. To begin with, let me clarify something. We human beings approach everything from our own narrow perspective and form ideas accordingly. For example, when we do something, we first feel a need or necessity for it. Most of the time, we act only when circumstances force us to. With this mindset, we tend to compare God to ourselves and assume he acts in the same way. However, while asking such a question, we should remember this. God is completely free from any kind of deficiency or imperfection, including needs, limitations, or pressures that compel us to act. Why did God create the universe at all? This question can even be approached through a kind of argumentative perspective. Who is disturbed by the creation of the universe? Can you show a person who does not desire to plant seeds, see them germinate, harvest their fruits, and search for the best paths to happiness by using their abilities in the most fulfilling way? Yes, there are people who, overwhelmed by painful events and hasty decisions, regret coming into this world. Some even end their own lives. But such cases are few and exceptional. In reality, almost everyone feels gratitude for being, for living, for being granted human existence. Far from regretting their existence, people are generally filled with thankfulness. Tell me, can one truly complain about being a child held in warm arms, about the vibrant joy of youth felt down to the bones, or about the fulfillment of adulthood shared with family and loved ones? And especially for those who believe in an afterlife. If a person nurtures the seeds of eternal happiness in this world, how could they complain? Rather, they would feel deep gratitude for discovering the secret keys that unlock the doors to ultimate bliss. Yes, we feel all these things in the depths of our conscience, and we offer heartfelt thanks to the one who created this universe and brought us into existence. A grand exhibition prepared to be seen in its own reality, we see that the universe, filled with great and small beings, living and non-living, is adorned with countless works of divine art. It is like an endless parade of magnificent scenes, prepared to captivate every observer and invite them to contemplation. These beautiful views, this extraordinary harmony and splendor, and the rushing river of events flowing before us, all point to purposeful actions and to a powerful, loving hand behind those actions. Through these acts, we witness the reflections of divine names. Like lovers running toward their beloved, we follow these sparkling signs, these flashes that wink at our hearts, and soon we find ourselves standing before the realm of divine attributes, which remain mysterious to us. We feel astonished, yearning, spiritually overwhelmed. Through windows opened in the heart, we try to follow the traces of the divine essence and lose ourselves in that pursuit. This journey of ascent unfolds across a vast space, from objects and events to the relationship between humanity and the universe, and from there to humanity's relationship with God's names and attributes. Understanding the Creator's purpose through a familiar analogy, let us now speak of the Creator's purpose in a way accessible to the general mind. Imagine a master artist who is exceptionally talented in many arts. One of his great abilities is beautiful calligraphy. With this talent, he transcends simple imitation and reveals his creative spirit through lines and curves of ink. Now imagine this. Same artist is also a master sculptor who brings life to the hardest marble, carving smiles onto lips and dimples into cheeks, earning praise and admiration for his skill. But let us keep exploring his gifts. Suppose he is also a master woodworker, giving artistic spirit to walnut, immortality to beach, and reviving ebony with his touch. And beyond that, imagine him as a painter whose brush creates stunning motifs and mesmerizing scenes, capturing the human heart with just a few strokes. We could list many more arts, but each new ability sheds light on a different side of this artistic genius and helps us know him more completely. If such a master were to hide all his talents, we could never fully recognize him. Every capability naturally seeks expression to bring what exists in knowledge into visible form. The seed that awakens to life, the sperm that races to exist, the droplets of moisture struggling to become rain, are these not reflections of the same yearning to appear, to be known? In created beings, this yearning is tied to need and limitation. But when speaking of the supreme artist, God, such traits do not imply deficiency. Still, the analogy helps us grasp a key point. Just as a master artist reveals his talents through his works, God manifests his names and attributes through the universe so that conscious beings may know him. The universe as the manifestation of divine names, all the colors, forms, and endless waves of existence tell us of countless divine names. Each name shines like a light upon a magnificent work of art, guiding us to recognize the attributes of the one who created it. The supreme artist wants us to know him completely. Through beauty, he displays his eternal beauty. Through order and harmony, he reveals his will and power. Through mercy and compassion, he satisfies even the heart's deepest desires. He brings the realities existing in his infinite knowledge onto the stage of existence, clothing them in external form. He presents his most extraordinary works to conscious beings, stirring wonder and admiration from earth to sky. In short, this majestic palace of creation was made so the all-skilled artist could display his artistic majesty and make himself known. Why not earlier? Now, we come to the second part of the question. Why didn't God create the universe earlier? First, what does earlier even mean here? If we mean, why not a few more years or centuries before this one, then why not ask the same for every earlier point? Why 1 trillion years ago and not 100 trillion? Such questioning could extend infinitely backward without ever reaching a satisfying answer. But if by earlier we actually mean eternally, then we misunderstand. Eternity, being outside of time, is a unique attribute of God alone. No created being can possess eternity. Before receiving external existence, created beings have a kind of existence within God's knowledge. But attributing eternity to them, even in that state, would be a mistake. To insist on probing this matter is, at the very least, a lack of proper reverence before God. Our criteria are too limited. We may speak about things that have been given physical existence, but when it comes to matters that are unseen, we lack the scope to speak with certainty. Our limits in knowing God, all of creation, in comparison to God's footstool, is like a tiny ring thrown into a vast desert. And compared to God's throne, even the footstool is the same. How then could a human mind fully comprehend the owner of the throne, the one whose existence surpasses all time and space? Even when nothing existed, God knew himself. He does not need creation in order to know his own essence. Through the manifestations of his names, in the world of spirits, in particles and atoms, and in the great compounds of the universe, he knows and makes himself known without undergoing any change. We, however, do not fully know who we were yesterday, nor who we will be tomorrow. We cannot grasp what our existence was in divine knowledge, nor fully comprehend the mysteries of eternal life. Faced with this immense riddle, we can only say, we could not know you as you deserve to be known, O most recognizable one.